Desperation is invading the meta, and we've got a lot to talk about. Specifically, this unit here, Ira, is amazing, and we're going to talk about the placement and all of that great stuff. Let's just jump right in and look at these units. Lysithea. Okay, we're going to talk more about Lysithea in a second, but understand that the big thing going on with her is the fact that Freyr exists. And with his existence, he has brought along with him the resurrection of Catria balls in both seasons. So understand that that makes certain units better, and these short-range nukes are one of them. This is Baked Treats. We have Slaying. At start of turn, inflicts speed res -6 and sabotage on nearest foes within 5 spaces of unit and foes within 2 spaces of those foes. And remember, sabotage builds stats by the debuffs on the opposing units, or builds debuffs by the debuffs. Anyway. So, if unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +6 to unit, neutralizes effects that prevent units follow-up attack, and neutralizes foes' bonuses to speed res from skills like Fortify, Rally, all that. So you've got a lull, you've got offensive NFU, you've already got 12 speed, we're going to talk about that more in a second, and you've got the potential for more with that sabotage. Summoners. Okay, we've got Glimmer. I don't know. It's Glimmer. If you're... We'll get to that. Mastermind. This is an A skill. At start of turn, deals 1 damage to unit. We saw that one coming. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +9 to unit during combat. Now remember, speed-wise, we were already up to 12 with sabotage potentially granting us more. Now you add 9 more to that, we're at 21. Summoners, that is absolutely ridiculous. But then we've got true damage on top of that, and deals damage equals X plus Y. You remember I was joking about how the fact that they need more more variables, X just wasn't enough? Here we go. X equals 80% of highest total bonuses among unit and allies within 2 spaces of unit. Y equals 80% of highest total penalties among target and foes within 2 spaces of target, excluding area of effect specials. All right. I want you to think about this in conjunction with Desperation and what's going on in the meta with Robin. And the fact that folks are stacking up debuff penalties in order to build grand strategy. And I want you to notice the fact that this has no ceiling on it. So, you've got a meta that is very heavily grounded in grand strategy and penalty stacking. You've got a unit here that takes advantage of that, has likely enough speed to double you, and then has desperation, so hits 4 times. That is a potent combination. And this unit definitely depends on the units around her. I recognize that just by herself she's amazing, but I really think innate Catria Ball is where this unit will just absolutely shine. There's no damage piercing here, but I do believe 4 hits will be sufficient to take out most things. All right, Desperation 4. This is a good skill. Let's get that out of the way. Desperation 4 inflicts speed -4 on foe during combat. At start of combat, if unit's HP is less than 99%. So we talked about wanting to lower that threshold, and they did it here, which, I mean, again, we expected that, but it's nice to see. It's what Desperation 4 needed to be. You've got the extra speed, which is generally what Desperation units want. So anyway, if unit's HP is less than 99% and unit initiates combat, or number of spaces from unit's start position to end position is greater than or equal to 2, and unit initiates, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack. Most likely this unit is going to get Desperation. I'm going to put that out there. Like that is a high likelihood proposition here. To add on, we have attack speed Oath 4, which adds an additional, so a visible buff of attack speed +6, and then you have an in combat attack speed +3. Where were we at? I'm going to do rough math here, and live math is always bad, so I apologize. We're in the range of 27 in combat buffs for speed, which is faster than this Sigurd that we're about to see. Just in buffs. Just in buffs. This unit is wicked fast. Catria Ball users are going to absolutely love this unit. Stick Hardy Bearing on her, and she will take out almost every threat that comes her way. We've talked enough. Let's move on. Plus, I absolutely love the tea time animations. The biscuits from on high just pounding the other unit. That's fantastic. We have Sigurd, who I was really interested to see here, and I am not as high on now. So let's look at this. In a vacuum, I mean, this is a good unit. Knightly Manor, you got special cooldown -1, you got slaying. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, grants Omni +5 to unit. Unit makes a guaranteed follow-up attack and deals damage equals 15% of unit's attack, excluding AoEs, during combat. And also, if foe uses sword, lance, axe, magic staff, dragonstone, or beast damage, foe cannot counterattack. So, the thing I want you to remember is that most Omni tanks and some of the saviors, we'll say about 50%, depending on if we've switched over to the armored beacon or armored flow skills. Most of them have an FU on them. And yeah. So this unit most likely is only going to hit once and is going to have to survive 2 hits back, which is something. What helps is that Chivalric Aura will most likely be proc at that time. And at start of turn, if unit's special cooldown count is at its max, grants special cooldown count -1 to unit. That's that, we'll call it a times pulse effect. Well, it is a times pulse effect. And that's going to keep this special triggered most of the time. Boost special damage by 25% of unit's attack. After combat, if unit special triggered, grants attack +6 to unit and all allies for 1 turn. And unit and all allies can move 1 extra space. That turn only, does not stack, all that great stuff. So, I mean, what can I say? The extra movement is fantastic. In 2023, and we're about to hit Gen 7, or Gen 8. We're just passing through Gen 7. This is not enough. I recognize this is a really neat effect. I want you to remember that when Sigurd came out, one of the big things about him was he was also legendary Sigurd. He was also a great nuke. And that's what was so potent, was he was excellent at surviving at the bare minimum. So he would get off his special, folks would swarm, and he would still be hanging around, which was just the most annoying thing ever. This unit, I mean, I'm not sure where you want this unit, to be honest. I assume Cavlines, but I run a Cavline in both seasons, and those spots are really hard to give up. Like, those units have to do a lot. I'm thinking of Shamir, who offers both supportive role and super speed against God Swords. Like, absolutely fantastic. Or Elise, which you can run Odd Pulse Tie or something to that effect, and as well as healer shenanigans and counter disrupt and all of that stuff. Like, they play multiple roles. This unit has a role as an okay support and a role as an okay nuke. And together, they're just not adding up to me. If you see it differently, I would love to hear it in the comments. I always like to hear different points of view, and you can ask anyone who comments on the videos. I fully admit when I'm wrong. So, yeah, I'm not super high on this unit. Like, he's not bad at all. This is a good unit, but I'm not excited. The special animation, however, is amazing. Absolutely love it. Next up, we have Highborn Sipper. Sorry, someone misread that on one of the reactions, and I am still laughing. Ferdinand. It's a demote. Windsweep is good. If you're anything like me, I've used Windsweep so much that it costs a lot of grails now. So anytime I get Windsweep, I'm happy about it. Tea Time Set Plus is good. I mean, this is a good skill. But again, we talked about this. You're waiting for the green arcane weapon. This enables Kanto 1 is really good. If unit initiates combat or is within 2 spaces of an ally, grants attack speed +5 to unit during combat, and also if your speed is greater than foe speed, you get an FU. It's a good weapon. It just, arcane weapons have made these look like kiddie toys, and that's all I've got to say. But next we have the unit that I'm really excited about. We have, drumroll, Ira, back to cause more shenanigans, just like she did her first time around. But she has Mercedes to kind of even things out, so. And to make PM1 happy. We've got, of course, the scrolling thing, so we'll let it scroll in just a second because the desperation flow desperation is really fantastic. T times edge enables Kanto distance +1, max of 4. Wow. Okay, so I want you to remember last year's banner. The Thief banner had lots of crazy Kanto shenanigans, and this year we have another iteration of Kanto. So we've got Slang. Slang is very good. At start of combat, if unit's HP is greater than 25%, grants attack speed +X to unit. I feel like it should be Z at this point. But X equals 25% of foe's attack at start of combat, -2. Minimum of 6, max of 16. That is quite nice. So think of that as attack speed +16 for the time being. Deals damage equals 20% of unit speed. Very good. And neutralizes effects that inflict special charge, cooldown charge -X on unit during combat. So we've got that tempo, that offensive tempo there. Kanto distance +1. After an attack, assist, skill, or structure destruction, unit can move spaces equals number of spaces from start position to end position. Unit moved prior to taking action. That's really good. And the reason is, and this is something I've been looking at because I've been getting the meta report ready. Hit and Run has taken an interesting uptick after me telling you for months that it was just going down, 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 down. We started getting some more units that do this job interestingly. And keep in mind that just because Kanto control exists doesn't mean it's a death sentence for this unit. Not every team is going to have it. Sometimes it is snipeable. There are a sea of reasons why Kanto control is not the absolute worst thing in the planet. There are ways around it. So keep that in mind, but I like that weapon a lot for hit and run units. I was debating on Gale Force because there are a lot of things in this that I like for a Gale Force unit. But understand, the big thing that this unit didn't come with is special acceleration, and Cavs are the hardest units to get effects onto. So just keep that in mind. There are a couple ways to do that, but especially in Gale Force teams, it's really difficult to waste spots. Like every spot is premium. All right, moving on. Supreme Astra boosts special damage by 40% of unit speed. So we're already boosting damage by 20% of unit speed, and now we're boosting it by an additional 40% of unit speed. At start of turn, if unit special cooldown is at max, this is a long way of saying Supreme Astra will do its best to always be active. So you'll always be getting that 40% special damage off of the speed. Attack speed clash is perfect for this unit. Absolutely perfect. And we'll go over why in just a second. Moving on. Flow Desperation. Now, this was a discussion, and Husky in the Discord brought this up. If you have a choice between Flow Desperation and Desperation 4, you're picking Flow Desperation every time. This has more, and it's better, and inflicts speed, defense -4 on foe during combat. If unit initiates combat, neutralizes effects that prevents units follow-up attacks. We already have offensive no follow-up. And also, if number of spaces from units start position to end position is greater than or equal to 2, or unit's HP is less than 75% at start combat, unit can make a follow-up attack before foe can counterattack. That is really good. I guess the condition might be considered more strict with the 75% or the has to move 2 spaces. But overall, I like this weapon, and most of the time you're going to be moving 2 spaces. That's just kind of the way it is. Red Feud is Red Feud, but I like Flow Desperation a lot. For you Cabin Flyer fans, I think this is an excellent, excellent skill. But we're not done. Let's look quickly. Yeah, look at that force. It's huge, huge. So the harmonic skill grants attack speed +6, resonant blades, which is nice. And unit can move 1 extra space that turn only, does not stack, to unit and allies from the same title as unit for 1 turn, and neutralizes any penalty on unit and allies from the same title as unit. So you're not going to want to use this. Never mind. This is really good. That's all there is to it. This is excellent. This is really interesting for summoner duels. I've been very vocal about how I've been down on Cav lines, and this does not change that. I'm still, the Cav Conga lines, I'm still down on them, and I still don't think they have a lot of consistency. Even with amazing units like Ira, like Shez, even with those units, I'm still not 100% sold. But this is really good. So that's all I have to say. I'm a fan of this. This is a fun unit. I don't know that you're really going to be using that harmonized skill much, but I do like it, and I think this is an excellent, excellent melee nuke. Let's go ahead and see her just obliterate things. Oh wait, no, she's going to use a harmonized skill, and there you go. Everyone moves an extra space. There are a lot of units in 3 houses that would like this, by the way. So just keep that in mind. Okay. We could go over this, but we already know that Taltu is the Tempest Trials unit, and I mean, I'm looking forward to what she has. She at the very least, her art is really great. Let's look at the stats real quick, and this is where we're at. So with green being the demote color, and keep in mind this strategy, we've talked about this before, but if you're only summoning 1, the odds of you getting your unit, if it's red, blue, or colorless, are very low. But the odds of you getting Ferdinand and getting flowers from him are, 13.5%. So understand that if you're playing the numbers game and you're trying to build up your flowers, getting that 1 green and then dipping is not a bad thing. The Spark Snipe has not changed. You've got if you want a +10 Ferdy, yes, I'm looking at you, Spirit. I think it doesn't get any better than this. Like, this is your best case scenario. Yeah. As far as the other stuff, we've talked about this. +10ing Ferdy in 329 orbs on average is nuts. But let's go ahead and move on into ranged nukes. Now, the reason I have Shez over the other 2 is because of the ability to get a piercing weapon, and the ability to get piercing skills, along with the insane speed and the effective damage. I think Shamir has a lot of effects going for her, and the use case for her is really good in this meta currently. But I think Lysithea is right up there. Like, she is a very good unit. And again, a lot of that is because of Catria Balls really coming back in Astra season. They had already been making a resurgence just from people playing the game a little bit and res stacking Catria. But now things are crazier. I mean, that's, yeah. So anyway, keep that in mind as you're summoning. Next, we're going to look at Sigurd, and I thought about putting him in the nuke category, but he's so far down. Like, I believe in the last tier, that tier 3, I have Arvel, and Arvel is a better nuke by far. So I put him in the supports category, and I really put him in, like, Lysithea is very good situationally, and that's kind of where I see him at. She also has the added thing where she's a good nuke, so as a unit, I have her higher, but as just a support, I like them both. The one thing I will say that I don't like about Sigurd is the fact that he has to initiate combat in order for that effect to go off, and that's very limiting. Yeah, that's the big thing there. Then we have the free-to-play-ish. The reason I have Ferdy higher than you'd think is because flyers in general have gotten a lot of skills that you can put on them to make them do really fun things. I fully admit that this list needs to be revamped. There are some really good units that need to be in here. I'm actually working on looking at Grails and how I rank them in general. So I stay tuned for that, but we're probably about at least a month away from that update. So you'll have to bear with me until that happens. The CYL season is busy. And last, melee nukes. Now I think Ira has some tech on her that is very good, and in situations I would rather have her than both Nana and Shez. But I'm a big fan of this unit. I think this unit is a lot of fun. So just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that CYL is coming. Like, this banner will be up and you'll be able to see what's in CYL. So don't jump the gun on this. Wait until you see what those CYL units are until you really go all out. I will definitely be waiting. And you guys know I have absolutely no patience, so but I will most certainly be waiting, because it's probably 2 weeks out from us knowing exactly what the CYL units are, and I cannot wait. I think that's gonna be absolutely incredible. If you liked the video, I'd always appreciate the super chats, and becoming a member really helps the channel out. Members, you are amazing and constantly help me with different things and are just awesome. If you're looking for some entertainment, I've got the top 5 worst units of Gen 7, so definitely check that out. Otherwise, take care and schedule an appointment with your FEHology real soon.